Couple of Shohei Ohtani questions for you. Is there a way to quantify the business impact Shohei has had on the Dodgers? Is there a number? There are many numbers, none of which I will share publicly. But yes, it exceeded everything we anticipated. And we anticipated a lot. The Dodgers just admitted something out loud that most teams would never say in public. Team president Stan Kasten revealed that Shohei Ohtani increased sales in one specific part of Dodger Stadium by 10 times. Not 10%, 10 times. And the number he gave was specific enough that nobody can really argue with it. Let's get straight to what Kasten actually said because the quote is the whole story. In a new interview with Sports Business Radio, Kasten was talking about the team store at Dodger Stadium, the one that runs tours in 4 languages, 365 days a year. Before Ohtani arrived, that store did about $3,000 a day in sales during the slow January offseason. Then Ohtani signed. His very first offseason with the team, that same store jumped to $30,000 a day. Same building, same shelves, same slow winter months when barely anyone visits a ballpark. 10 times the money just from one guy joining the organization. Let's sit with that for a second because it's an almost unbelievably clean jump. $3,000 to $30,000 a day is not a bump. It's the kind of jump you'd expect from a brand new product launch, not from a gift shop selling the same hats and jerseys it always has. Let's do the math over a full year. $3,000 a day across 365 days is just over $1 million a year for that one store. $30,000 a day across the same period is right around $11 million a year. That's roughly a $10 million swing in one store and one stadium tied to one player, and remember that's the slow season number, not a packed summer home stand. Team executives almost never hand out real revenue figures like this. Most of the time you get vague phrases like, tremendous impact. Kasten skipped all that and just gave the number. That kind of specific honesty from a team president is rare, and it suggests the Dodgers see this less as a private secret and more as a selling point for the sport itself. This newfound attention that baseball is having because of the Shohei phenomenon? Yes, it's impacted us tremendously, but it's been an even bigger impact for baseball. Here's where this gets more interesting. Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers in December 2023. At the time, plenty of people called it one of the riskiest contracts in sports history, mostly because of how it was structured. Ohtani deferred the vast majority of his annual pay, taking home only about $2 million a year during the contract, with the rest paid out starting after the 2033 season. On paper, $2 million a year for the best player in baseball sounds like a bargain. This team store data point alone, just merchandise sales in January, is basically enough by itself to justify that salary. And that's before counting jerseys sold in season, ticket sales, or sponsorships. Since Ohtani signed, along with pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto joining the roster, several major Japanese companies have signed advertising and partnership deals with the Dodgers, including travel company JTB, cosmetics brand Koz, and All Nippon Airways. These aren't small regional sponsors. They're large international companies paying to be associated with the Dodgers specifically because of the audience Ohtani brings. It doesn't stop at advertising signage either. In 2026, the Dodgers struck a first-of-its-kind deal with Japanese retailer Uniqlo, giving the brand naming rights to the playing field. The park is now formally referred to as Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, with new signage around the ballpark including above the center field batter's eye. It's the first corporate naming partnership in the stadium's 60-plus-year history, and Uniqlo's founder has said directly that the wave of Japanese stars on the Dodgers, Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Roki Sasaki, drove the decision. A deal like that isn't signed on a whim. It requires genuine confidence that the audience tied to that stadium will keep growing, and Uniqlo clearly believed the Ohtani-driven audience was worth the commitment. Attendance backs this up too. The Dodgers have been drawing over 4 million fans a season. Add in back-to-back World Series titles in 2024 and 2025, and you see how the revenue streams connect. A team that wins draws more fans, sells more merchandise, and attracts more sponsors. And Ohtani has been central to every one of those wins since he arrived. Go back to the moment he signed, and the numbers were already moving before he threw a pitch or took a swing for the team. Ticket resale platforms reported a sharp spike in searches for Dodgers games in the days after the announcement, and the team briefly became one of the most searched in the sport. Opening day ticket prices for that first Ohtani season climbed into the hundreds of dollars for even the cheapest seats, before a single regular season game had been played. Merchandise told the same story. Dodgers jersey sales broke team records within days of the signing, with Ohtani's number becoming one of the most requested items the team had ever produced, and retailers struggled to keep it in stock. a problem most teams would love to have. There's a detail a lot of people miss. Ohtani's financial impact isn't limited to the Dodgers. Kasten has talked about Japanese brands now trying to buy advertising space behind home plate in opposing stadiums whenever the Dodgers go on the road, meaning visiting ballparks or seeing their own ad inventory become more valuable purely because of the broadcast audience Ohtani brings on Dodgers road games. Other franchises are quietly cashing in on the Ohtani effect without paying him a single dollar. According to Kasten, that extra sponsorship revenue has gone straight back into signing more star players and improving the fan experience at Dodger Stadium, a cycle where Ohtani's financial impact keeps funding the next moves that make the team better on the field. More sponsorship money means more payroll flexibility, more talent, more wins, more national attention, and that draws in even more sponsors and merchandise sales the following year. Now the biggest number in this whole conversation. According to MLB insider June Lee, sources told him the Dodgers made back the entirety of Ohtani's $700 million contract value in his very first season alone, combining ticket sales, marketing deals in Japan and globally, and merchandise revenue. Read that again, the whole contract paid back in year one. Everything since, every extra season, every World Series run, every sponsorship renewal, is essentially pure additional value on top of a deal that had already paid for itself. It's worth remembering what Ohtani has done on the field to help justify all this, since the two sides feed each other. Since signing with the Dodgers, he's been named National League MVP in back-to-back seasons, 2024 and 2025, and the team has won back-to-back World Series titles in that same stretch. In 2026, he's continued to put together an MVP-caliber season at the plate, even while managing knee and biceps injuries that have limited his time on the mound, a reminder that the business numbers and the on-field product are really the same story, viewed from two angles. To understand how unusual this is, compare it to other major athlete signings. When Lionel Messi joined Inter Miami, his arrival caused a similar overnight spike in ticket demand and merchandise sales for a previously mid-tier club. When LeBron James joined the Lakers, the financial impact built up more gradually, since he was already a known quantity from his years in Cleveland and Miami. Ohtani's case is closer to the Messi effect. Much of his fan base, especially in Japan, had never had a reason to follow the Dodgers before he signed, meaning almost the entire audience bump is brand new demand rather than existing fans simply spending more. Baseball's biggest stars usually build fan interest slowly over years of playoff runs. Ohtani arrived already carrying a massive built-in fan base from Japan, a country where baseball is close to a national obsession, combined with a genuinely unprecedented two-way skill set. That combination gave the Dodgers an audience that didn't previously exist inside their normal fan base. Every time a signing like this pays for itself this fast, it changes how front offices around the league think about free agent spending. Teams have historically been cautious about giving out decade-long contracts, worried a deal could turn into dead weight if a player gets hurt or declines. Ohtani's deal is becoming the counterexample other executives will point to for years, proof that a truly transformative player can generate enough revenue on his own to make even a $700 million commitment look conservative in hindsight. At the end of the day, Stan Kasten basically confirmed what a lot of people already suspected but never had the receipts for. Ohtani isn't just carrying the Dodgers on the field. He's carrying a meaningful part of their business model too.